Yeah. Okay, 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 okay. I think I have Audacity working. I'm I'm sorry if I there's like background noise or whatever. That it might be picking up my fish tank or something. I don't know. Anyway, um, dude, I don't even know where to fucking begin. Uh okay, 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 okay. You know me, you know me. You know how I go on like mod benders, download binges, whatever the shit. You know how I do that like a lot, and I I can only assume I must have downloaded this from like Game Banana or whatever, like a week ago or something. I wanted to download like a bunch of um like hacks and stuff, like 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 ROM hacks or mods that were released around Halloween because I like horror games and shit. You know I like horror and all that bullshit. So I downloaded a bunch of like different games and like mods and hacks or whatever, and um like um I don't I I don't remember specifically downloading one that like called itself like melancholy or whatever. I checked the I I didn't download anything that was familiar like this. So I don't know where it came from. It could have come from there, but I'm not entirely sure. Anyway, I so okay, basically, like I said, I opened it. It was a Sonic Adventure 1 hack. It very clearly stated that it had like the SA1 title screen and everything. It was like it was normal. It was all normal and all that. Uh, um, and it 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 was just normal. I mean, it didn't open up with like the usual like normal intro cutscene with like Sonic and Chaos Zero. It just immediately put you in Station Square. And it looked it like there were like Halloween decorations around, and all that, and there was like a blood splatter here too, and I was like, oh, it's just a fucking ooh spooky fucking Halloween hack and everything. And I like moved around, I like ran around and shit, and Sonic, uh, I you're gonna dude, you're gonna think I'm fucking um okay. So I I looked at Sonic. I got I got Sonic to look at the camera. I got it positioned where I could like see Sonic just by chance. I wasn't trying to do anything because I was like this is just some fucking like silly like ROM hack or whatever. I and like Sonic looked like spooky. Like it was like I hate I don't dude I don't want to describe it like this because you're not gonna take me fucking seriously. It was like literally some like like Sonic.exe bullshit. He was like he had like red eyes. Um, he had like red eyes, and there was like red streaks down his cheeks, and he had like these like gray gloves, and he looked mad, I think. I and like and like his shoes were grayed out, and he had like a red buckle on his shoe or whatever, and yeah, that's like uh it would I don't know, but I just okay it so I just think like, oh, it's just a it's just this like scary hack or whatever. Like oh scary like bloody creepy pasta shit. And I was like, okay, whatever. And I just played it for a little bit. It was like pretty normal, but just like really buggy and shit. It was just like really fucking it like dude, it played worse than fucking like DX and shit. It was like bad. I was like, this is whoever made this is like fucking bad at coding or whatever. Um or like making games and shit. But fucking so I okay. So I was playing it. I played it for like a couple of minutes. I was like, okay, there's nothing significant happening, so I'm just gonna give up on this because I didn't really. It's not like it came with like any like hints towards like what to do or anything. It was literally just like Sonic Adventure 1, but things look creepy or fucked up. Like, ugh, you know? Um, and and so uh, okay. I was going to close it. I was like getting ready to close it, but like once I like tapped out of the program, it like went black, and I was like, okay. I thought it was just like an error thing, but like when I did that, the Sonic in that in from the hack, like his face showed up and was like like his face like showed up like in like just surrounded by blackness, and it was like don't go, and I was like huh. I was like okay. I was like okay, maybe there is some more to this hack, like maybe there is something like interesting like going on or whatever. um and so I tabbed back in. It didn't change back to Station Square. It was still just like the black screen with the scary Sonic in the middle. And it said and it was and like a text box showed up. It was like what the fuck? I'm already forgetting my fucking. Basically, he was like, don't don't close the game. I can help you. I was like, what the fuck are you talking about? Like, what is okay? What's gonna happen and shit? So I just went along with it. Saw was like, okay, I'm just gonna see what's gonna happen and shit. And so it was like, don't turn off the game. I can help you. And then he goes on to say like, so like I. I I'm already forgetting like what he said, but he's basically like I used to be like you. Um, we were cut from the same cloth. I I I I I was a woman like you when I was alive, and I was like, woman? Like, I was like, wait, woman? What are you talking about? Um, and she's like, I want to help you. I want to help you. Um, out of this and stop living how you're living. And I'm like, okay. And then like I'm like, whatever. I guess it's like the I guess the game is like specifically targeting like shut in losers or some shit. Which is like, you know, y- but like whatever. I figure it's just like easy fucking like target for like scary stuff to happen to, and all that. Um so So, so she says, what happened to you? And I'm like, oh, okay. And I tried like getting it to progress further, but it wouldn't go. Like I tried like hitting enter in space and like pretty much every key on my keyboard that wouldn't like crash the program, and and nothing worked. And then she's like, and then but like after a few like after a few seconds, she's like, got it. Let's take a walk together. And then the game closed. I was like, okay. And then it like reopened, and I was like, okay, what kind of shit is happening? Like because like I know fucking like I said I know like there's like a lot of cool crazy coding shit you can do and all that. So I'm like okay whatever. But so the game restarts, and instead of like being in Station Square, like or like even opening up on the menu screen, it's 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 like it's like a hallway that's like it's like a gray hallway, and like instead of playing as Sonic, I'm playing as Amy, and I'm like, okay, what what are we doing here, dude? So so I start walking around. I just follow the hallway, and at the end of the hallway is like this like white room with like a bed in it and like an object beside the bed that I don't really know I don't really know what it was, but it kind of like it wasn't an IV, but like it looked kind of set up like a hospital like would set up an IV or something. But I like walked up to it and like interacted with it, and it said that there was a text box that came up that said something like it was like I I thought that was gonna be worse from how scared mom sounded, but dad seems fine now at least. And I was like, okay, weird. That okay. Um, I'm like, okay, what, like, whatever. So I walk away, and I just move Amy through the hallway, and then that Sonic shows up again, and she's like, "Your dad really gave you a scare," and then and then another text box pops up and says, was that the last time that happened or something? And then she like just clipped through the ceiling. I was like, okay, where's this going? And so I keep walking through the hall, and it started like going like left and then right and then right and then it like it like became a maze, I guess, is how you describe it. It just started like twisting and turning and everything. Um and and um it it kind of looked like it uses the like the textures from fuck what is it? The fucking like ice level in the game. I can't it like looked like it was like like using those assets or something to make it look all like like frozen over. But so I keep just going through the maze, and I'm like I'm forced to stop walking because like a black screen flashes up, and like there's like it looks like Eggman's face, I think. It like looks like the the like his head model like flashes on screen, and I was like, I'm gonna be honest, I like laughed at I laughed at that because I was like I was stupid. Um eh, but like after that I just kept walking, and I just kept walking to the maze, and there were like I started like seeing like more text boxes like on the walls and floor. Um oh, and they like said things that I c- I I I can't remember I can't remember like exactly what they said. It was just like it like looked like someone like put like writing on the floor and walls or whatever, and it I didn't think about it in the moment, but they make sense to me. Um uh, any anyway, so so I'm going I'm like taking Amy through the maze, and there's these like writings on the walls and all that shit, and I I came across like rooms basically, they're like little like rooms in the halls that like had it- like like almost dioramas scenes kind of like of like one of them was like okay, they were like scenes of like Amy and Eggman specifically. It was always those two. And like Eggman had like his like whole like head model, like that part of his model just like completely blacked out and shit. And I couldn't uh, like I couldn't like really see like what his expression was, and I couldn't really see what Amy's expression was either because she had like her hands like covering her face and in some way in these scenes, but it was like there was okay, it was like there was like a scene of of like Eggman like towering over Amy, and she like looked scared, I guess, is how you would explain it. From from like how she was posed. She like looks like freaked out, and he's just like standing over her, and I I didn't like I like walked I walked up to them to like try and interact and see if there was something, but there wasn't like any text or anything. So I didn't really I don't know specifically like what was going on and shit. And uh but so that's like how most of them were. It was like in some way or form like like Eggman intimidating Amy, I guess. But like there were like a couple specific ones where like it it was like too like I don't know how I don't know if this will make sense. It just felt too familiar. Um like they like there was like there's like one where it looked like he was like winding up to like hit her or something, like from how they were posed. There still wasn't any text. I couldn't like get like an exact description of like what was happening. Like none of these had like text or anything. It was just pure posing and shit. Um and I um so there's that one. And then there was another one where she was like backed up into the corner of the room, and he was like like I can only assume was like really like fucking like s- reeling into her or whatever, like tearing her a new one type shit. And and there was another where where it looked like there was like a shower, and like he was like holding the like the shower head nozzle thing. Um, and she like was like shivering or something. I don't and it was like like so it's like a lot of scenes like those, and I couldn't I um I don't know what specifically I can tell you, but you know, I've told you things about like stuff that I've gone through and all that. It, it's it just it felt familiar. And I I just felt like really it 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 felt familiar. Uh, and I wasn't comfortable with it as as much as I don't want to say that about a stupid fucking like creepy pasta shit, right? Um, it's but like eventually ev- anyway, eventually like interspersed with like those scenes and shit, there were like rooms where like it was just Amy and what I think is the the like computer model in the game of her just like looking at the computer in like a dark room, and like she like slowly like becomes more like I guess absorbed with the computer or whatever, and I'm like, okay. It like she's like getting more like absorbed with the computer and shit. um and it just, like I said, it just felt too familiar, and I it I di- it just it it felt like an attack of some sort. I I that's that sounds really stupid. But anyway, I so it's a bunch of shit like that, and then I get to like I get to what I assume is the end of the hallway, and um or maze or whatever the fuck it is now, and there's like a thing there's like a thing um of like like there's another diorama type scene, and it looks like Amy is like lashing out against Eggman. um and there's this was the only one that had a text box in it too, because I interacted with it, and a text box shows up, and it's like things could have been like this, and I'm like, what the fuck does that mean? Uh, uh, and this after like when I close the box, the scene just immediately changes, and it's just Amy lying on the floor, and I don't, I, I don't. She didn't. This is the only time I get to see her face. By the way, she just is like lying on the floor, and she there's nothing different about like her like normal expression from like what she normally looks like in game, but she just looks disheveled, like she like looks like a corpse. I don't, and maybe I'm just fucking interpreting like it like that or something. She just looks dead or some shit. Uh, and then that Sonic came back like through the floor. She just rises up through the floor, and she says she said she's like, why won't you fight back? Um, I'm like, huh? I, she says some shit like, why won't you fight back? And she says some other shit, but I don't. I was getting worked up, so I don't really remember specifically what she said, but it was something about like we have the same weakness. And I just I I I fucking dude, I fucking like I like rage quit or something. I don't know. I just I was like I this is I'm getting like I felt like my heart like really like beating hard and shit, and I just and I was getting trembly, and like I have like problems with like having seizures when I get stressed out, and I didn't want to have a seizure, so so I just closed the program, and and it's I closed the program, and then I messaged you, and that's where we are now. I I'm sorry if I'm too rambly, or if my audio like is bad or whatever, but I hope I explained it correctly, and it makes sense to you. I just I don't. Okay, so uh th- th- this is another recording um mm, because I couldn't. I couldn't figure out what happened. We couldn't Boulder and I couldn't figure out what was going on, so I just uh s- okay, basically what I think what I think like went on is um maybe I got the game from like a Game Banana or something. That's like the only place that I get like mods and like and all that shit from, right? So uh maybe it was from maybe it was from itch.io, maybe it was from some site I don't fucking remember going on, but I've looked through my history and I don't see anything that could indicate like a Sonic Adventure hack or mod or something called Melancholy, right? I don't see anything like that in my history in like my recent history searches. I've dug through the history in general. I don't I, I don't know where it is. I don't know where I got it from. I don't know how it showed up on my computer. Um I don't know. I really don't know what happened. I I, I guess I can put like I don't even know, dude. I just if there's anyone out there who sees this video, who experienced something similar or has an explanation, I guess. I don't know how there'd be an explanation for this. I genuinely don't see what could have possibly happened or whatever. I just I don't know, dude. I'm gonna put this video out into the ether. See if there's someone else out there. If you have, please like comment, like telling me like what happened, if something similar happened, or if you know what this is, or you know where this came from. I just, I, I don't know. I really don't know. This is just, this is so fucking stupid, man.